Hello and welcome to Storytime with Mr. Ryan. April is National Poetry Month, and I thought today we would discuss the life and legacy of Maya Angelou. Poet, singer, dancer, social activist, Angelou spent her life's work fighting for the cause of civil rights in America. Her autobiography, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, deals largely in her early youth and childhood, in her struggles against racism, in her fight to overcome oppression. Today we read her story, Rise, From Caged Bird to Poet of the People, Maya Angelou, written by Bethany Hegedus with illustrations by Tonya Engel. Let's hop on in. The train looms, a mass of metal and steel. Maya and her brother Bailey hold hands. Like luggage, they have been packed and shipped off to Stamps, Arkansas. Their bellies rumble. Strangers feed them cold ham and a biscuit. Bailey, a year older, offers Maya comfort. His voice, a lullaby. His skin, a warm blanket. His smile rocks and reassures. The train chugs south. The future is yet to be. In Stamps, Mama Henderson, as tall as a sycamore, as dignified as a queen, rules the roost. She owns the William Johnson General Store. She owns, and has owned for 25 years. Maya's Uncle Willie, wearing a starched shirt and shined shoes, eagerly awaits the new arrivals. The family store stands before Maya, an unopened present, the front door a ribbon, waiting to be pulled. Life in Stamps hums along, singing and swaying in church, rustling the onions and potatoes into bins at the store, minding the clucking chickens, feeding the hungry hogs, making the long walk to school, day in, day out. Safety lies in the sameness of the faces who greet and are greeted after laboring in the fields, handing over their hard-earned coins each day. It doesn't take long before white girls, not much older than Maya, enter the store, wielding their whiteness as a weapon, a sword meant to cut the giant sycamore. They call Mama Henderson Annie, not Mrs., not ma'am, just Annie. Maya curls her hands into fists that stay rooted at her sides. She watches as Queen Henderson, proud but not defiant, answers. The scales of justice are stacked against them. Young Maya loves stamps. Young Maya hates stamps. Hate and love, love and hate, the seesaw of the South. Maya is 6 when Mother sends for them. Overnight, Maya and Bailey are shipped off again. Unlike Stamps, St. Louis is fast, full of juke joints, numbers runners, and card games. Mother Vivian is a beauty, regal with red lips. Maya, always told she's plain and not as pretty as her mother or as handsome as Bailey, feels discarded amid the hustle. Mother's attention is split even more when Mr. Freeman, her boyfriend, comes calling. One day, Maya, left alone with Mr. Freeman, is anything but free. After a visit to the hospital, Maya calls out Mr. Freeman's name as the one who hurt her. Mr. Freeman spends only one night in jail, Later, he is found crumpled behind the slaughterhouse. Maya falls silent. Scared, her voice struck him dead. Maya and Bailey are returned to the strong limbs of Mama Henderson. Life in Stamps continues. Onions and potatoes, chickens and hogs. But for Maya, there is no laughing, no humming, no music. Her heart aches to survive. Her mind whispers to itself as she reads and reads and reads. Books offer solace. Books offer safety. The floorboards of Mama Henderson's store creak. Mrs. Flowers, the lady of Stamps, smelling of talcum, dressed in cotton chiffon, invites Maya to her home. Maya steps out from behind the flower bins and nods her consent. The lady of Stamps offers Maya sweet lemonade, flat tea cookies, and a book. Dickens' A Tale of Two Cities. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. Maya has read these words before, but hearing them glide gracefully from Mrs. Flowers' smiling lips is different. Maya awakens to the power of the spoken word. Outside, Maya is quiet. Inside, words make music. Maya memorizes the rhythm, sways to the exquisite dance, the twisting, turning conga line of language that pulses across the page. The words of others live inside Maya now, though she refuses to speak to anyone but Bailey, her protector. Under Mama Henderson's bed, under the stairs of the store, Maya begins to read aloud. Slowly, Maya rises out of her grief and confusion and does more than answer, "Yes, ma'am," "No, sir." Her words, her feelings, her voice welcome her home. As Maya and Bailey grow, the shadowy seesaw south teeters toward danger. One day, Bailey spies a body just a few years older than he being pulled from a pond. Mama Henderson knows too well any white eyes not liking what they see could turn an accusation into a drowning, a death, a lynching. Mama Henderson knows it's time to send Maya and Bailey back to Mother Vivian, who has married a gentleman, Daddy Quidel, and traded St. Louis for San Francisco. On the train, Maya holds the lessons, the strength of Mama Henderson, the dignity of Uncle Willie, the hum of Stamps inside her as the unknown unfolds again. The sights, sounds, and smells of San Francisco delight Maya. She floats through the fog, a cocoon of creativity that blankets the city. Maya's love of language now moves within her. Rhyme, rhyme, meter as music. Before long, Maya earns a scholarship to the California Labor School. There, she dons black tights and learns to occupy space with her long limbs. Maya the dancer, the performer, is born. Maya's feet tap to the jitterbug. Her legs kick to the Lindy. She is an entertainer, a trolley car conductor, a high school graduate, a young mother. Leaving home, Maya has to work many jobs, flipping burgers, stripping paint off cars, all to support her son, Guy. Rising before the alarm, Maya wonders how her passions, her artistry, can pay the bills and provide for her and Guy. Eventually, she finds her way to the Purple Onion, the premier place to be seen and to see. Performing takes Maya far, first to Milan and Venice, dancing and singing in Porgy and Bess. After that to Paris, city of lights, and then on to Cairo, where faces as dark as hers hold positions of authority. From city to city, she struts and sways. When Maya returns to the States, her heart longs to stay, to not be away from Guy, to plant roots in her community, roots that will give them both the strength to soar. Maya joins the Harlem Writers' Circle, gathering with a group of writers, Rosa Guy, Louise Merriweather, Langston Hughes, and more. Together, work is read, strengths and weaknesses are shared, talent explodes. Maya discovers a voice that is as gravelly and gritty, as jubilant and joyous on the page as it is on the stage. Maya hears Dr. King preach from a Baptist pulpit. His voice rises to the rafters as Maya is transported back to the seesaw South. Maya answers the call of freedom for all. Maya the activist takes flight. She writes, produces, and performs, praising and raising funds for civil rights. After a threatening phone call comes, her safety is shattered. Maya and her family flee to Cairo, where Maya, the journalist, is born. In Ghana, Malcolm X, a fiery voice for human rights, has also journeyed to the motherland. Maya and other Americans flock to meet him. Taking note of her passion and compassion, Malcolm invites Maya to work at his new center in the States. Guy, almost full-grown, urges his mother to say yes. Maya lands in New York, ready to work. 3 days later, Malcolm falls to the floor. The stench of gunfire lingering in the crowded air. Broken, Maya must rise, only to be trampled again when Dr. King is assassinated on Maya's birthday, April 4th. The day is no longer a day of celebration, but a day of mourning, a howling at the injustices of the world, at the dangerous seesaw that cuts off the lives of those who dare to dream. James Baldwin, poet, novelist, friend, urges Maya not to retreat, but to unlock the pain, to free it once and for all. Maya vows not to go mute. There is no safety in silence. Delving deep into her past, Maya begins a memoir, circling the scars of the caged bird. She raises her pen and lets her words, make music. The sentences dive and dance. Her life story surges and soars. Books fly from her fingertips. Poetry, memoirs, bestsellers all. Maya, with a tilt to her head, a sway in her hips, sometimes with her own ruby red lips, offers up her words to the women who came before. The sturdiness of Mama Henderson, the beauty of Mother Vivian, and to all the women and men whose bodies and souls endured slavery and abuse. On January 20, 1993, Maya stands before her country. She rises up before the towns that were once divided, the doors that were once closed, the lives that were once lost, and with her deep, gravelly voice recites a poem she wrote. She wrote for the people and the new president. Hearing her words, the pulse of the morning is felt by all. The applause from black hands, from white hands, from all hands, is as loud as a train, rolling and rumbling into the station, proclaiming Maya, poet of the people. At the age of 86, this phenomenal woman, who spent a lifetime breaking free, finally rests her wings as her heart beats its last beat. Her words, still rise. They will always rise. Rise, rise. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this wonderful poetic story that illustrates the life of Maya Angelou, an important and incredible person who spent her life's work fighting for civil rights and fighting for equality. She was a phenomenal woman, and I strongly urge you to check out her book, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time.